Here's a video about how to remove the upper and lower ball joints on a 93 Ford Ranger 4-wheel drive, because mine has a lot of camber on this side. I don't really want to get me stranded somewhere. So this is locking hubs in the front. I'm going to start with taking out the locking hub itself and the little pieces that go in there. Keep these in order. There should be a half moon thing in here, and apparently mine is missing. That's cool. There'll be a little half moon thing around that, and there's a special tool to get off this nut here. Here's the tool to get that off there. There's a part number. It's gonna have these 4 little notches on here. The one from AutoZone didn't work. I believe this one is from Advanced Auto. Then you just put it on your impact, get her on nut there. Could come off pretty easy. Mine was stuck on there the first time I got it off, so I had to use a breaker bar with a cheater bar, and oh man, it was awful. I have this little piece here, which I'm going to pry off camera because I can't manage to get my fingers on there. While you're working on getting this stuff off, might be a good idea to spray some penetrant on this pinch bolt here and this castle nut, and then there's going to be another like castle nut down holding the bottom ball joint in. Might want to do that so everything's loose. This little fella here with all the holes, he's going to have a little notch there, and occasionally when you yeah, I'm gonna mess that up. Occasionally when you put the the first nut on, it might twist this and then knock it right over the threads. So what I did was I took a little screwdriver. I might want to use a little smaller screwdriver than I did because I think I messed up the threads a little bit. And I popped it back over because it was crooked to the right a little bit. And then once it's over a little bit, you can just pull the thing out really easily. So that. Take the gun, take off nut number 2. It'll come off. Oh my god, I can't get this up. Well, I'll be back. So the way I like to get the pins for the brake caliper out, because you're going to be taking the brake caliper off, is take a 3/8 inch, what was that, like a 3 inch? No, that's like a 6 inch extension. And just tap her in. Can't get this on video because I'm using both of my hands. Ooh. So you tap her on in there and tap it all the way to where this pops all the way through, and then it'll be stuck in there. So then you take a 1/4 inch extension, go from the other side, tap it back out with a 1/4 inch. I saw another guy use vice grips and pliers and stuff. I don't know. This has worked for me. So I'll be back when I get the caliper off. So after you get that off, you'll be able to just slip the rotor right off the shaft here. Then you're going to want to undo this shaft and pull that off. And you should be able to pop the axle right out of the diff. Left front should come right out the diff. The right front, you might have some issues. You can see all the way up in there. Let me get my gloves off so I can zoom. That boot, there should be splines on that. Mine were so rusted that I had to actually cut the U-joints out, because when I was pulling them off, I was doing my front diff service and I was doing U-joints. So I had to cut through the U-joints actually to get the axle out, because this one has C-clips. I believe they're called C-clips. They just pop right into the axle, and then you just pop it right out this side because the shaft's so small. That one is actually, it's got clips on the inside that hold, is it E-clip? They actually hold the inner part of that shaft, because there's 2 pieces, into the differential. So if that thing doesn't want to come out, you may actually have to do your U-joints, because you might have to cut them off with a grinder wheel. Because that's what I had to do. Luckily, I re-lubricated everything once I got it out. So seized on there, because otherwise the spline should just pop out, and you just like replace the ties on the boot And I put new grease in there and everything. But this side should be pretty simple. You just pull the axle and just pop right out of the differential. And then I'll pull the axle out. I'll be back with pull the axle out, and then we'll take out the tie rod end. Something that'll happen if you have an Illinois truck like mine. The cotter pin will actually snap. So you have to tap that thing out. I used I started out with, says this, you know what, I can't even tell. 3/8? No, that's 3/8. Well, then I went down to a 3/32. Alright, well, you can't see it, but it's a 3/32. And then I went down, because I was starting to get stuck, I went down to a 1/16. Just tap that thing out. Don't go all the way in with that 3/32, because you'll get it stuck, and then you'll have to tap out the broken punch. So get some punches, because you're probably going to need it if you have a rusty truck like mine. Then you can get over to taking out the castle nut here, which is bigger than a 19, so that's cool. Well, those are all 15s, and this one up here is a 15, so that's probably like 21 maybe. Well, we'll see. So that's actually a 22, and I thought I was going to use the classic method of just whack the hell out of the spindle with a sledgehammer, and usually that works, and it'll pop out your tie rod, but she wasn't wanting to budge, and I'm going to replace this next spring anyway, so I use the old pickle fork. Because this isn't ideal because you're going to rip the boot, but you can definitely get it out pretty easy with the pickle fork. Beat the hell out of that into the slot between the ball joint for the tie rod and where it seats. And now we're on to the fun part of getting out this. Ooh, yeah, that one is pretty bad. Got play. Yeah, the bottom one's shot. Top one might be fine. I'm replacing both of them. So this one actually did come out intact. You just need to bend down the two outer sides, and then I was able to fish it out with this pick here. I was looking off some of the dirt, put the pick in there, just pull it back a little bit. After I got it back a little bit, got a little screwdriver, just pull it all the way out with the screwdriver. I wonder what size that is. Is it a 22 also? Of course not. No, it's probably like a 24. That's gonna be cool. And then that one, I already got that pretty loose. Oh, come on, easy. I'm into a little issue for a second there. This had actually started spinning on itself, so I can get the nut off. So I took a big pry bar and wedged it in between the front of the spindle and the I-beam, and I just pried to the side, and that gave it enough grip on the shaft itself, or the ball joint, with the part of the threads, for it to not spin when I hit with the impact. That's a 24, by the way, yeah. Then I was able to zip that right off. So now I get off this top bolt, and then hope that the tie rod pickle fork will fit there, because I don't have a ball joint one. Alright, it was all I needed to really do was nail the pickle fork in under here and beat the hell out of that until it wouldn't move anymore. And then I took my pry bar and pried from the top of here and the top of there, and just kind of pushed down and wiggled the pickle fork, and then just popped out a little bit, and I had to beat down on the side where the tie rod hooks on there, and then she popped out eventually. And now we get on to the part where you're going to need the ball joint press. This side got a little snap ring there. That side might just be a press-in, honestly. They both look like press-ins, but I don't know why that one doesn't have a snap ring. Someone just forgot to put it in there. Whatever. So let's get to that part. I'm using like the $50 ball joint press that I got on Amazon. That's the brand. The attachments I used were this one right here. That'll fit around it. Clean up the area, by the way, with a rag and a screwdriver. Chisel out all the dirt and stuff, because sit right about like that. And then you put one of the, I just put the outside of that C-clamp on top of this, and then this one had a grease fitting, so I took that out with the socket. Size of that, 9/32. Took out the grease fitting, and then I used just the this rotating side here with the press. Just press it back out like this. Had it in a vise. That'll probably help. The top one, I'm gonna guess it's gonna go the same way. So from the looks of it, that's gonna be my new lower ball joint, and that's gonna be new upper ball joint. And there's the part numbers. You can just take a picture of these part numbers here for my. I believe it's a Dana 35 they have in the front. Then just gonna press that fella out, and then we're gonna press in the ball joints. All right, so you're gonna want to put in the bottom one first because of how everything is designed. You're gonna want to set it to where it's pretty damn straight. And there's a cup that'll fit over the edge of the ball joint, and has a little dimple in the top of it. And if you get this kit, it'll be the one sitting right here. And then there's a little tiny cap that you can use on the bottom, which of this kit would be right here. So I'm just gonna press her on in with that, and then pressing the top one the same way. So I'm putting the Zerk fitting on right now, and I'm gonna put the bottom one on later because I feel like I'll break it if I drop this thing on accident. And I have a grease gun somewhere around here. But that one was a bitch to get in. That really sucked. But this one wasn't that bad. Just take off the boot on this one before you press it in, because I kind of destroyed the boot when I was pressing it in, because I thought it was a metal lip here and it was actually a rubber one, so I just tore the boot there. So I'm probably going to replace this at some point soon. But whatever. Got the new ball joints in, and we're going to go jam it in the truck. And now it is dark out because this is Illinois in November. But it was pretty easy to get this in there. There's a little bit of wiggling to get these two shafts lined up. But basically just kind of lift it up, put that bottom nut on, make sure that one's lined up perfectly. And I just spun it down by finger tight until I got to like where it would stop. And then I took the impact and just ran that thing down pretty good. Lined it up with the hole, so I put the cotter pin through, and I put the cotter pin through, and then I put this pinch bolt in and tighten that down. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a clip there, whatever. And so now it should be pretty stiff to turn, which is good. And I'm gonna put that grease fitting on, fill these suckers with grease, and then install everything in the reverse order of how I took it off. So, and then one more thing, when you're putting these nuts on, I believe you just snug the back one. The first one you put on, just kind of snug it. If you're using like an impact, just kind of snug it on there. Then you put on that little spacer, and then you put on this fella, and you actually do kind of have to run this down, like not like like really run it down, but like pretty good. I'm sure there's torque specs for all of this everywhere, but I'm just using an impact. But yeah, just make sure you didn't crush your bearings and your wheel spins. Pretty sure I'm good. Yeah, that's basically how you change upper and lower ball joints on a Ford Ranger 4x4. Here's a video about how to remove the upper and lower ball joints on a 93 Ford Ranger 4-wheel drive, because mine has a lot of camber on this side. I don't really want to get me stranded somewhere. So this is locking hubs in the front. I'm going to start with taking out the locking hub itself and the little pieces that go in there. Keep these in order. There should be a half moon thing in here, and apparently mine is missing. That's cool. There'll be a little half moon thing around that, and there's a special tool to get off this nut here.